get it started now. Freedom, 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 freedom. My freedom begins at Life Force Canada.
So hello to all you game changers. I'm Karen. Welcome to Life Force Canada. A big thank you to all of you who join me here every week. I have been facilitating this call now for over a year, about 15 months or so, every Monday, and really to inspire and empower and really keep us connected as we're moving forward through this time of transition. It's so important for you to stay positive and really align with others who are like-minded. Now, Life First Canada is a platform that's made up of Canadians from coast to coast, and we've all volunteered our time and energy to create the Canadian Restoration Project. As we know, all the corrupt systems and structures are going to be crumbling, and we're going to be here to assist in rebuilding these amazing new structures and, of course, rebuilding this amazing country of ours. How our Monday calls work is I offer some inspiration, and then I offer updates if I do have them. And then we have a topic and then a Q&A. So if you have any questions, especially if you're new here, then we have a Q&A for everyone. And then at the end, I offer a meditation because I think it's important for all of us to stay grounded. Hello, Colleen from Parkland. Hello, Grace from Whitecourt.
Hello.
Hello, great to see you here. Hello, Edwin. Kendra, welcome. Now I upload the Monday calls on our Life First Canada YouTube channel. So if you're new, I do recommend you listen to past recordings so that you can really get an idea of who and what we're all about. So please subscribe and remember to place your comments because it really helps in people when they go to Google search for Life First Canada. I was going to have Gerald share this evening. He's of the Cree Nation, and he was going to offer a presentation on natural law. Unfortunately, he could not make it this evening. So we're going to focus on your power and what that looks like as we move forward. And we all know that we've been sold many lies, and those lies are crumbling. Matt Hogg, he wrote, what was it called? Reasons to Stay Alive. And I'm just going to share a bit about what he wrote. The world is increasingly designed to depress us. Happiness isn't very good for the economy if we're happy with what we have. Why would we need more? How do you sell an anti-aging moisturizer? You make someone worry about aging. How do you get people to vote for a political party? You make them worry about immigration. How do you get people to buy insurance? You make them worry about everything. How do you get them to have plastic surgery? You make them worry about their physical flaws. How do you get them to watch TV? You make them worry about what they're missing. How do you get them to buy a new smartphone? You make them feel like they're going to be left out. And to be calm in today's age, right? It's a kind of a revolutionary act. And to be happy with our own existence, right? To be comfortable with who we are right now is not good for business. And we've been living in a reality that is not designed for happiness. And I do believe that happiness is only ever going to be discovered when we discover our own true power, our own innate power within. So of course we have our own innate power, our mental power, our emotional power, our spiritual power. We also have the power that we may not have realized in our own towns and our own counties. And this is what Life Force Canada is all about, is really reminding you that as we claim sovereignty, you are already sovereign, right? As we claim our rights, as we proclaim our freedom, we do that by joining in and creating our plan councils, so what we call them here in Canada, our plan councils, whether that's in a town or a county or your province. So everyone just take a deep breath in of that life force energy. We are all going through a lot as we move forward. Now, taking your power back is knowing that you're not here to save anyone. How many of you are feeling tension in the shoulders? Yes. We are working very long hours. And you might think that you're here to save people and lead them back onto their path, but that's not really your job. And I know I have struggled with that myself, in my life. People need to have the desire in their heart for change, the desire for growth. The desire for growth has to be there. So each individual has their own internal guidance and divine power. And it's up to them to discover their path and why they're here on this planet. So the question was asked last week, how do I inspire people to say yes to joining Life Force Canada? How do I get them to take action, to move forward and to see what Life Canada or Life Force Canada or Life Force Global is all about? Well, it was funny because after that call, Kelly from the PGSD, he stated, do not recruit. They will come on their own as they see you getting involved and taking action. And he's so right. You lead by example. And as they hear you talking about all the changes that are happening, they become curious. So we need to speak to people's curiosity. And when you start talking about what you're doing, whether that's joining the council, creating a council in your town or county, or you're joining a committee, right? Education, agriculture, whatever it is, or you're in one of the many think tanks. That is then what you're sharing, right? You're sharing what you are learning, what you are discovering, and who you're connecting with, right? You share that you're listening to amazing calls and connecting with so many incredible people who are creating a parallel structure of self-governance, right? So as we all know, a magnet doesn't really have to do any work. It just does its thing, its divine purpose of being what it's meant to be. And things are just attracted to it, right? So be the magnet and your friends will join, okay? So I'm just going to give a few updates. I'm going to be leaving Facebook this year and jumping more into G-Force. I do believe that G-Force is so much better than Facebook. And I know Colin's been working on that as well in regards to upgrading it. There are many groups in G-Force, so I thought the best way to, distinguish Canadian groups from the rest, because there's groups on there from all over the world. We do have, for example, LFC, so LFC, Alberta, there's LFC, BC, LFC, Saskatchewan, etc. And there are the think tanks on there as well. I know Dwayne is on there sharing the link to the energy think tank. So thank you for doing that, Dwayne. And there's many Telegram groups as well and channels. So I just added the Telegram think tank groups in there as well. So I'll be sending out an email this week to everyone with all the new Telegram links. And one thing is that we're really excited about is Kim has shared that she's now ready for ratification submissions. That was very exciting. We got that this weekend. And so we've been working all across Canada here. So we have submitted our ratification documents, of course, in Alberta. I believe Quebec is ready, Manitoba, so congratulations as well. Okay, I have a video that I'm going to share with you. It is a short video, it's only 16 minutes. It's called The Authority of a County by Matt Trelea. I'm not a Christian. It is an American video. He will remind you that the counties have the authority and power to stop evil. And that's what they've always been meant to do. So once you realize your power in your own town or county, all of the unjust and immoral laws will no longer be welcome in your jurisdiction. You become the lawful governance. And so he is just going to give you that reminder.
In the year 39 AD, Roman Emperor Caligula was upset with the Jewish people. In order to get back at them, Caligula, who fancied himself a god, crafted a decree, a law of the emperor, which declared that a statue of himself should be built and placed in the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. This edict of the emperor was then sent to the governor of Palestine, one Publius Petronius. Governor Petronius dutifully obeyed and had the statue built, intending to place it in the temple when spring arrived. But the Jews found out about this law of the emperor, and they immediately began to remonstrate before Governor Petronius, beseeching him not to place the statue in the temple. Petronius responded that he would do the emperor's bidding because he liked to live. But these Jews didn't just go home. They continued to pursue this lesser magistrate. Even when Governor Petronius removed himself to Ptolemy in order to avoid the Jews followed him even there. Over 10,000 Jews gathered before Governor Petronius to plead their cause. They even bared their necks and said, "Kill us now, for this is an unjust and immoral law, and we cannot live in peaceful coexistence with it." 2 weeks after that occurrence, Governor Petronius actually invited the Jews to return so he could speak to them. Again, about 10,000 Jews arrived in the city, and they entered the stadium where the meeting was supposed to take place. When they saw 3 Roman legions, nearly 12,000 Roman soldiers waiting for them inside the stadium. So these Jews felt a little trepidatious because last time they had seen Governor Petronius, they had bared their necks and said, "Kill us now." So the Jews were here and the soldiers were here, and Governor Petronius stood before them all, and he read the law of the emperor, penalty for disobedience to it being death. And when he was done, he rolled up the scroll, and he actually stepped down from where he stood and walked out to stand in between the soldiers and the Jews in order to demonstrate his interposition. And then he declared to everyone present that he would not obey the law of the emperor, and that in fact he would use all his authority and all of his influence to convince Caligula to rescind it. So Governor Petronius sat down and he wrote his letter, and he sent it by ship to the emperor, informing him that he would not comply with his law and entreating Caligula to rescind it. Well, Caligula responded in good tyrant fashion, and he wrote back to Governor Petronius an order to kill himself, an action not uncommon in the Roman world. So the order was placed on a ship and sent to Palestine. But just 2 weeks later, in the providence of God, Caligula was assassinated by his Praetorian guards. And fortunately for Governor Petronius, the ship carrying word for him to kill himself arrived after the ship carrying the news that the emperor had been assassinated. The statue never was placed in the temple in Jerusalem. The actions of Governor Petronius is known as the Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates. The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates is a Christian doctrine. It is the product of Christian thought. John Knox, who wrote the foremost treatise on the doctrine, in his 1558 Appellation to the Nobles of Scotland, cited over 70 passages of scripture to show that it's sound in the word of God. The doctrine defined is simply that when the higher ranking civil authority makes unjust or immoral law, policy, or court opinion, the lower or lesser ranking civil authority has both the God-given right and duty not to obey, and if necessary, to actively resist the superior authority. And that's what's been happening in America in our day. The superior civil authorities have been behaving lawlessly. Therefore, the interposition of the lesser authorities is needed and necessary. Men are realizing they no longer have the convenience of being indifferent towards the unjust and immoral actions of their government. They're realizing not only is Washington, D.C. at war with them, but their state officials aren't going to protect them. Therefore, men are flooding into county and local government in order to make a stand for freedom. Evil men understand that a virus is the perfect narrative to impose a tyranny. And that's what they've been doing to us for nearly 2 years now, is imposing their tyranny upon us. And we've seen almost no protection at all from the state officials. But we have seen hundreds of examples of interposition by county and local officials, by sheriffs, county boards, mayors, common councils. Let me show you the authority and power of a county. Remember nearly 2 years ago now when all this began and these governors were coming out with their little draconian decrees like every 72 hours? Well, J.B. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois. In May of 2020 came out with his latest draconian decree, and it was this: if any businessman anywhere in the state opens their business before I say you can open your business, you will now be arrested and charged with a crime. And only one county, in a state of 102 counties, only one county, Madison County, that sits down on the Mississippi River directly across from St. Louis, they were the lone county to respond. The very next day, they brought their county board together and they issued their own decree. And their decree said that their businessmen are free to reopen now and that they'll use all their authority and all their power to protect their businessmen. They also cautioned the governor and the state not to interfere with their businessmen. Well, Governor Pritzker responded in good tyrant fashion. And the next day he held a press conference threatening Madison County to remove their federal money, to remove their state money, to do bad things to them. In fact, he did this for the next 3 days in a row. But Madison County held strong, resolute, unwavering, did not budge. And then 7 days after Governor Pritzker had issued his order, the Illinois State Police put out a press release declaring that they would not arrest any businessman in the state who opened their business before Governor Pritzker said they could open their business. Amen. They had decided to stand with Madison County. And the very next day after that, Governor Pritzker rescinded his order. That is the doctrine of the lesser magistrates demonstrated. That is the interposition of the lesser authorities. That is the authority and power of a county. Had it not been for that one lone county, all of Illinois would have remained under that draconian decree of Governor Pritzker. And by the way, the man who heads up Madison County's board is a Christian brother. And he had read my book on the doctrine of the lesser magistrates 2 years earlier. They knew what their duty was. Amen. And what about Newton County, Missouri? Little Newton County, Missouri. Remember earlier this year when the Biden administration was threatening through law and policy to infringe on American Second Amendment rights? Well, Newton County, Missouri gathered their board together and they actually issued an ordinance in defiance of Biden an interposition against federal lawlessness, their ordinance states three things. Number one, any law or policy that infringes upon the Second Amendment's rights of their citizens is null, void, and of no authority in Newton County. Number two, it states that any county official who aids and abets in infringing on the Second Amendment rights of their citizens shall be removed from office. And number three, it instructs their sheriff to arrest any federal agents or others who attempt to infringe upon their citizens' Second Amendment rights in Newton County. That is the doctrine of the lesser magistrate demonstrated. Amen. That is the interposition of the lesser authorities. That is the authority and power of a county. When the superior civil authority does evil, the duty of the lesser authorities is not blithe compliance. Rather, it's interposition. Understand that the tyrant superior authority counts on the compliance of the lesser authorities in order to get their evil down in the fabric of society. And when they don't have that compliance, that's when they know they got a problem on their hands. If good men do not interpose, then the tyrant superior authority has the convenience of building the next plank of his tyranny unhindered. But if good men do interpose, then the tyrant authority has to come out of his lair and bare his fangs in order to implement his tyranny. And then men more readily see the tyrants for who they are. And get this, the interposition of the lesser magistrate is so massive that Ezekiel chapter 22, verses 24 through 31 make it clear that the interposition of the lesser authorities can actually abate the just judgment of God when there's evil in the land. And you, the people, your duty is to prod your magistrates to do right, to demand their interposition, and to assure them that if they do right and interpose, that you will stand with them four square, with your person, with your property, with your prayers, both publicly and privately. So counties can stop evil, but it's even bigger than that. The evil must be stopped, but you also have to build. You have to deconstruct the statist hell that counties have been made into and reconstruct them to what they were intended to be. You must help counties to understand that they were never meant to be mere provinces of state government, which is mere provinces of federal government. They weren't meant to be simply mere implementation centers of unjust, immoral, or unconstitutional federal or state law, policy, or court opinion. Rather, their duty is to interpose. The statists are using the counties to get their evil down in the fabric of society. Look what they're doing with these DAs right now. The statists want men dependent on the state. Just look at how many programs, health and family programs, counties oversee. A proper county government would rather look to church, business, and family itself to address those problems. A proper county government would understand they have limits, and they wouldn't cross out of those limits and invade church, family, and self-governments. A proper county government would understand, and government officials would understand that their duty is to serve the people, not lord their authority over them like in some sort of totalitarian fashion. Like we saw when the health mandates came out. Many people then realized power does go to men's heads. Many people realize then we have plenty of local tyrants. And understand the nation is breaking apart. And counties are more important in the process. There soon could be a time where a county needs to leave their state and become part of an adjoining county, an adjoining state. There soon could be a time where a number of counties within a state need to form their own state. As lawlessness increases in our nation and things continue to break apart, counties may have to take on responsibilities that they normally wouldn't do. So here's what I want you to do to flood county government here in Wisconsin or wherever you're from. Number one, attend county board meetings. Familiarize yourself with county government. Number two, learn what authority your county possesses. You can do that at the county building itself, in your state constitution and statutes. And remember, it's all under the law of God. Number three, run for county office, whatever it may be. And number 4, and most important, establish relationship with your county supervisor and or board and move them to introduce one of 4 resolutions or ordinances. And here's what the 4 are. Number 1, it could be a constitutional county resolution. A number of counties have already done this. It simply declares that if any government official or branch of government impugns the Constitution, whether by law, policy, or court opinion, it's null, void, of no authority in that county. Number 2, you could introduce a Second Amendment resolution or ordinance like Newton County, Missouri did. Number 3, you could introduce a medical freedom resolution or ordinance. A number of counties have already done this. They simply state that all mask mandates, all vaccine mandates, whether by government or business, are not recognized in the county. All vaccine passports, whether by government or business, are illegal in the county. Or number 4, you can declare your county a sanctuary county. No preborn babies will be murdered here. Understand, men will give you lip service all day. But when you introduce one of those 4 things, you'll know exactly where every man on that board stands. And you'll also then know who you need to unseat. Bravery is needed in this hour. Amen. Bravery is needed in this hour. We are drowning in the cowardice of the lesser authorities. We need a new breed of men, Christian men, men who are willing to fight, men who fear God rather than man, men who are willing to challenge those who arrogantly impugn the law or word of God or trample the Constitution, men with a faith firm in Christ who won't give in to the trivial temptations of wealth, power, or being liked. Are you one of those men? Thank you, and remember this: judicial supremacy must be destroyed. The preborn must be protected, and you must not become the slaves of men. You are bought with a price. The state does not own you.
Bravery is needed in this hour. Okay, I want to share that because 1, all of their laws that they have created, right, are not laws. We know this. They're all null and void. We're not here against the government. We are creating a parallel structure. This is for you to really ignite your heart in knowing that counties have authority. Counties have the power. And we are creating the plan councils, and we have a structure that you follow, because again, we're not here to fight their system. And as we move forward, you're going to be attracting more people who want to step in and say, okay, we're here to unwind the unlawfulness. And as you unwind the unlawfulness, your authority then becomes recognized. Okay, so I'm going to open up for a Q&A now. And if you have a question, please raise your hand by pressing on the reactions button. Hello, Tanis.
Hello, Karen. What a wonderful video. Thank you for sharing that, because it does, I don't know, it feels more empowering, I think, now moving into where we're going. We know where we're going, and it's happening pretty quick, I hear. So what my question maybe is to you, because we are revisiting our bylaws as per PGSD feedback, but so all those things that he was talking about, how like having the authority and how like the current government system would have no authority on us, is that something, do you think, that we should put in the bylaws, or wait until we're ratified and, like you said, and then make that into into something then?
Yeah.
What would your response be? Thank you.
I would wait till you're ratified.
Okay, just go with the current things that we maybe had for now, and then just do things later.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Karen.
Yes, your counties can stop all evil. Thank you, Janice. Hello, DK.
Oh, happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for taking my question. Thanks for taking my question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Yes, what can we do until our plan councils are rectified and funded? Is there anything we can do until then to begin creating counties? Because it's almost like urgent. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I had an actual 1-hour call with Sasha today in Montreal, and she said that they have quite a few different regions of people who have joined the Plan Council Quebec. And are you on their public meetings on Wednesday? I think it's
I think they have them on Tuesdays. I'll go to the one tomorrow. I've only been to one,
right.
So yeah, I'll go to tomorrow.
The ones that are already involved in the different regions in Quebec, they're going to be transferring them over to the county model. Because originally it was okay for us to have the regions, but the PGSD has been saying work on a county level because that's where the power is. I do believe the business meeting tomorrow and the public call, you're going to find a lot of shifting over to that model.
Okay, and we can, because I wasn't sure, because I had heard of this thing about the county and then the sheriff, but my impression was that it's almost like US exclusively, and it doesn't, but you can do it equally well in Canada, I'm assuming.
Yes, we just have not realized that as the people, right? Because we've been following this de facto government model for so long. We've just been being fed all of these lies. And now we're waking up to the true power that people have in sovereignty. And so as we begin to create the county level councils, they will be trained on what it looks like in regards to taking back their power. They'll eventually be looking at the councils that are already in place in those towns. And those towns are going to have to make the decision, like the sheriff and the police and whoever are there, if they want to step over the bridge on this side of the river and serve the people. If they don't, they've joined the de facto government. So there's going to be that parallel structure, right? And I do believe as the council becomes ratified and funded, it's going to be really the only game in town, because there's going to be so much freedom. They're going to see what everyone's doing. They're going to see that healthcare is free and education and all of that. What people have been yearning for so long, they're going to see what we are doing and they're going to want to join.
Thanks. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, DK. Great questions. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Karen. Thanks for the video. I'm just wondering about ratification. I'm still a little bit muddy on that. And I'm just wondering if they go ahead and mandate the injection, will ratification really kind of help prevent, kind of protect us from that? And also, I guess the second part to my question is there anywhere to go to find out more about what exactly ratification is and how it works? And I know you've probably spoken at length about it, but I'm still muddy on it.
Lisa, where are you again?
I moved from Calgary to Prince Edward Island.
Oh, you're in PEI. Okay, so I do believe there's quite a few people in PEI, right?
Well, I'm in the process of talking to somebody. We were playing a bit of phone tag, but we haven't connected as yet. So, yeah.
Lisa, if you can just send me your email, direct message me in the chat, I'll have an actual Zoom call, because there is a few people in Lifers Canada that are in PEI. And so it'd be great if we can all have a conversation together. Then I can share all that information with you together as well. I just was on the New Brunswick Council meeting 2 weeks ago, But yeah, it is a process. But the first thing you ever want to do in regards to creating a council is your lawful component. Getting your website going. We have an amazing team of people who love and are so gracious with their time in creating a website for you, all of you. And you only need 3 people to get started and creating your seal. And so it's just really basically you coming together every week and just finding out more about each other and building a relationship together. That's going to be really how you start.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll send you my email address.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, none of us knew what we were doing when we first started, and so here we are. But yeah, it's a learning process. We're all learning because this is all new to everybody. But there is a structure that's being created, like I mentioned. As long as you've got people skills, a learning attitude, and the desire for freedom, you know, in your province, that's really all you need to start. Thank you, Lisa.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Kendra.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Karen. My question is centered more so around the concept of preparedness, and more specifically, financial preparedness, especially as things start to really shift within our world. I want to do an appraisal of where I stand financially. I own a house, you know, and I'm at so-and-so bank kind of thing. What can I do to become more and more and more sovereign every day and more independent, maybe more local? Just some like baby step approaches, I guess, that yes, I realize I still need to operate and exist in our current world, but I just want to figure out how I can sort of start to recede a little bit while we build this and while the other thing crumbles.
Yes, I get it. In regards to banking, we still need to use the banking system that we have. You're already sovereign, just let you know. So Kim has already taken down the whole birth certificate system. It's already gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And so she's declared every human being on earth as sovereign. You'll find that as you step into a plan council, whether that's the plan council here in Alberta or a committee, health and wellness, right? The more you step into the health and wellness, I'm just using that as an example, the health and wellness committee, you're in it. So the more you step into that, you then are focusing on creating the new system, right? So right now I've been working with Jade in regards to the new Alberta healthcare website, because this old one over here is so satanic, right? But as we create this new healthcare system, then you're going to find out as you move forward in it, all of a sudden you're unplugging from everything. I don't have a TV anymore. I unplugged from cable, right? So it's all those little things that you'll just start doing it naturally. You won't be going to different stores, box stores anymore. You'll be going to the farmer's market, which you probably already are. You'll be more community based, right? We're not buying things on Amazon anymore. We're buying things from the people that we know. And this is just going to be a step-by-step process as we continue on this amazing journey that we're all on. But Kendra, I'm so glad you're involved in the health and wellness aspect of everything. You have so much to offer.
Thank you. And maybe so I'll just throw that out to maybe other members on the group that are into, I don't know if it's called tangibles or what, but people have been asking me, and I've been inquiring about things like, oh, should I stock up on silver, gold, or whatnot too? So maybe someone on the group has some insight towards this. I'd be curious too, just to see whether options are out there. People talk about crypto, but I don't even know what any of this stuff is. I'm still learning about it. So just throwing it out there that's I'm open to receiving. And yes, that gives me some sense of light at the end of the tunnel, is that what you said there in terms of even just being a part of a committee, for example. A lot of it's going to happen naturally, and that's music to my ears because that's how I roll.
Yes, yes. And Kim has said very often, and so has Kelly, that the whole Bitcoin crypto market thing it's going to crumble. It's owned by the Dark Lords. Kim is, and everyone there has said that it's not going to be a part of the new Earth, in the high frequency energies of the new Earth that we're stepping into. So, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I don't really give any financial advice, but right now it seems good in regards to what Kim has been able to do behind the scenes. So again, she does have the repository, which has trillions of dollars in it, and that money is what is going back to the people. And that's where the funding comes through, is the repository. So that's where the councils, from a provincial level, from a town level to a county level, that's where the funding will be brought through.
That's good to know that too, because with Canada recently being announced as $9 trillion in debt, that's a little alarming, especially for our kids. And one last thing I'll throw out there too, before maybe you can just shelf this if you want, but someone in the chat asked about how birth certificates are gone. I'm really curious about that question too. So I'll leave it out there and then I'll yield.
Thank you, Kendra. So I do believe if you go into the Life Force Canada YouTube channel, we did talk about this in length in regards to the birth certificate system. Kim has just mentioned that it doesn't exist anymore because the whole realm of the dark forces is dissolved now. And we're stepping into a whole new reality in regards to where we need to recognize our own power. And they've been in power for thousands and thousands of years, and that is no longer in existence. And so anything that goes to the Hollow Records, so the Hollow Records is it just records all law pertaining to humanity. She's just been putting through everything that is for humanity right now, for the sovereign being. If you want to hear more, I do recommend that you go into the UNN and you can actually listen to Kim and Tank. They used to have it on Sundays, but their times have been switching Mondays and Tuesdays. But every week they do give an update, a global update on what's happening around the world. If somebody can put the UNN link in the chat, that would be awesome. As you step more into Life Force Canada, you'll begin to receive emails, especially if you're new here. There'll be more emails coming through that will give you more direction and more guidance as to what's been happening, not just within Canada, but throughout our Earth realm, right, Garth? It's very, very exciting. When I'm on the PGSD calls, this is a global organization, Kelly's the director, and we are witnessing so many councils. They call them assemblies too in the world, right? So you can either have a council or assembly. We call them councils in Canada. But there's so many assemblies being created around the world. And we got the call on the weekend that Kim is ready for ratification for all these different assemblies who are ready, who have their lawful components together, who have their operational components together. It is a lot of work, but again, it's necessary as we step into sovereign self-governance. We don't need a federal government anymore. We don't need a provincial government anymore. We don't need mayors in towns anymore. And we are here to bring forth a new way of being where we don't have anyone above us anymore. There's no one above us. Once your council is ratified, then funding comes through. So every council will be creating a budget as well. Everyone will have a job in that council or committee, wherever they want to step into. And it's very, very exciting because you get to we're making history. Well, her story. we're actually going to be the first sovereign councils and that have ever been ratified in the Hollow Records. This has never happened before, ever, because the Dark Lords have always been in charge until now. And so, yes, our story, exactly, Sherry. Absolutely, I love it. Okay, Kendra, I don't know if I answered all your questions, but I just went on a little roll there. Dolores, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to. still a problem how to hook up my camera, and I have to get some kind of a pole. Anyway, but so once I have a question. I'm in the Quebec Council, and we only have the one council for the whole province of Quebec. So I'm in the Laurentians, which I get the idea of what the game plan is, for example, to make the county of the Laurentians, one committee, right? One unit, is that, or get ratified separately? That's what I wanted to know, because we're getting ratified in Quebec. So are we covered by that ratification for the whole province? Or once we're in a local area, like a community area, more of a smaller like town, or like Laurentians is pretty big, it has a lot of towns in it. So there would be one ratification then for that committee once it's formed? Is that what you're saying? Or because we're being ratified the whole province, so would that cover us? Or do we have to submit a request for ratification separately as a local committee council?
Thank you, Dolores. Yeah, I just spoke to Sasha today from Quebec. We just had to shift her over to really understanding that it's the Plan Council Quebec, it takes care of the Greater Assembly of the province. So yes, it covers the Greater Assembly. So for instance, in Alberta, so we have Plan Council Alberta, and now we have counties that are doing the work and putting their documents together so that they can get ratified as a county.
Oh, so it has to be separate.
Yes, they're all separate, yes. And they will then have their own budget, their own money to do with what they need to do in regards to the needs assessment of the people of that county. Right? That's what the power is. The power is in the town now. It's not with the federal governments or anything. Even us as a provincial council, we have no power in regards to overseeing what you guys need. We can't tell you what a council needs or a town needs. You guys have to let us know what your needs assessment is.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'm learning more, thank you.
You guys are the authority in your counties and towns. Thank you, Dolores. Sherry.
Hi, Karen. Thank you. The question I had last week, you spoke briefly about working, how in our future we will actually work based on doing what we love. And I would love you to speak to this. Maybe it's a question, or maybe it's even a whole life force session, about finding the balance of working, doing the thing that we absolutely love. Because for many of us, it's a foreign concept. Like for so much of our life, we've worked, and having to pay bills was a big part of, trying to find work that we found bearable or enjoyed.
Yes.
But to find, our meaning and life's purpose, work that we love, not working for money, while still balancing the practicalities of us having to work to build all this infrastructure. So it may not be something to answer tonight, but I thought it could be a really inspiring whole program. So, and with that, I yield. I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm actually glad you brought that up, because when I was talking to Sasha today, we were going through their budget as well, is that as we move forward, yes, right now I am working probably 12 to 14 hours a day sometimes. And the thing is that even though I'm working so much, I have so much energy because I know it's my higher self that's bringing me the energy. My higher self is actually doing all the work. I still have to make sure that I am doing my yoga in the morning, my meditations every day, self-care, right? But going forward, we're not going to have the work week that we once did. So even though we're following a business structure, like a corporate structure, there's no hierarchy in the corporate structure. Again, as we know, it's a wheel. But the 40-hour work week, the 50-hour work week, the 70-hour work week, that is going out the door. They do have in Quebec the 32-hour work week, and we are going to be having flex time. So whatever people want to work, that's going to be up to them. So long as they are moving forward with their closing dates of whatever responsibilities they need to have in the position that they're being called to step into. So again, as we move forward, we have 9 pillars, and within those 9 pillars, everyone's going to find their purpose and passion, whether it's media, agriculture, education, health and wellness. Everyone is going to find their purpose and passion. We get to step out now of the work that you maybe have been doing for countless years. Maybe you've been doing it because your parents told you you needed to do it, or there was some force outside of you that guided, not just you, Sherry, but I'm talking about to everybody here. Now we get to say, no, I don't want to do this kind of work anymore. I want to step into doing this, because we are all meant to be doing what we love to do. It's going to be so important. For example, Linda here, Irwin, she is a phenomenal artist, an amazing artist. And she just discovered her talent like not too many years ago, and she's just incredible. And so I know that in our new building, once we have our Plan Council building, I want to have quite a few of her art pieces, and I will pay her for her art. Right. So we want to support everyone in what they love to do. If I know someone has a garden, I want to be buying their vegetables rather than going to Safeway or a superstore. Right. So we get to support everyone in community. That's why the towns are so important as we move forward. So thank you for asking that question, Sherry.
Thank you for the comments.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Together we rise, everyone. We're doing it. If you want to stay on with the meditation with me, you're welcome to. If not, enjoy your week. And everyone in Alberta, I'll see you tomorrow night. Lots of love. Thank you for standing for freedom. Love you all.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night. Bye.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Good night, everybody.
Good
night, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you. And thank you for all your lovely direct messages and beautiful words, everyone. Thank you. Okay, meditation really helps us to align with our heart and our passion and our soul. Oh, I just have to stretch. Okay, so close your eyes. Focusing on your breathing. And slowly, rhythmically breathing deeply down into your belly. And releasing slowly. And when you're exhaling, just allow yourself to let go. Just let go of any anxiety, fear, uncertainty of the future. Just continue to focus on your breath. In any area of your body that you're feeling any tension or tightness, just bring your breath into that area. Bring the life force energy into that area of your body. A lot of us are holding tension in our shoulders, our neck, weight of the world. You might feel fear in your solar plex. And just bringing that energy through into every part of your being as you let go. We let go of yesterday and we're letting go of tomorrow, allowing ourselves to be present right here, right now. Your power is in the present moment. Meditation allows you to become aware of the thoughts you have that swirl around in your mind. And it's okay if you've got a lot of thinking happening. It's becoming aware of those thoughts. And not judging any of your thoughts. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. And now it's more important than ever that we become our best friend. Our own best friend. And this is where you're tuning in to the voice of your higher self. That voice of your higher self within you will only ever speak with love, kindness, compassion. So if you find that you're not thinking kind or compassionate or loving words about yourself, it is not your higher self that's doing the thinking. So we have the ego mind, which is the fearful mind. And that mind, that ego mind, that fearful mind is what this reality has really allowed to grow in power. And in order to dismantle the outer world, we need to begin to dismantle that fearful mind within ourselves, the ego mind that keeps us trapped in anger, frustration, stress, uncertainty, and worry. Because all these words are not who you are. It's the realm that we've been living in that's been feeding these words. And these words, these thoughts become words, and these words become beliefs. And now we're being called to dismantle all of these beliefs that do not serve our highest good. Thoughts of, I'm not worthy, or I don't know enough, I'm not educated enough, I'm not worthy of love, are the lies that we tell ourselves. And the truth is that your higher self, when you allow that voice to speak to you in every moment, your higher self will always let you know how truly worthy you are, how brilliant you truly are. And that you are loved. You are loved no matter what you've done in the past. And so just breathing in the words, I am love. I am worthy. I am brilliant. And I'm ready to step in to my soul's purpose. What I've been called here to do. I am sovereign. I am free. And so it is. So we're just going to now sit in silence for a few moments and keep focusing on your breath. On the count of 3, you can open your eyes. So 1, bring yourself back into the room. 2, bring yourself back into your body. And 3. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you, Santa. Beautiful. Thank you, Chantal.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Namaste.
night.
Good night.
Night.
Karen.
Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Take care, everyone.
Karen, good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Great call.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we should start the calls with meditation.
That is a good idea. We do on our plan council. Alberta, we start with an intention.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.
Karen,
Thanks so much.
Yes.
can I just tell you how much I love your leadership and listening skills, and how much I appreciate what you do. I just want to say that because you, I don't know, you handle things so well, and I just wanted to tell you that you inspire me to think of things differently and to maybe respond differently to different situations, and I really, really appreciate that of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to the day we all get to hug each other.
Hey, yeah, that's true.
Thanks
Good night,
for
everyone.
speaking on our behalf, Tanis.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to second the Karen thing. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for you. You're greatly inspirational, and yeah, so much love. And then the people that you're bringing in are equally as beautiful, like Santha and all these people. You're drawing out this immaculate amount of power coming from people. So you're the right chick for this job. So because all of these people even commenting and everything like that, I'm feeling happy to wake up for once. I feel like my soul is fulfilled. And I spent many years going, can't wait till I'm not here anymore, because I wanted to go to a different place. I wasn't happy. And then as soon as, funnily enough, as COVID came, but then I met this group, a bunch of aspired people. I have to say, I'm feeling very complete, and I can't wait to help other people and be a part of this group. And I like drop all ego at the door. I'm feeling so fulfilled, and I love you all so much. So, okay, with that, I yelled, and I'm going to bed, and I just got to say I love you all.
We love you too, Chantel. Thank you so much for
I'll
being
second
here.
that.
Yes, yes. You have leadership skills. 100%. Love you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Ella.